Many people have heard the expression fair trade. Now, fairness is a sort of a fundamental category of Catholic teaching. So if I'm making a deal with you, if I'm the one that has all the chips, I'm the one who has all the advantages, but all you have is your labor. All you can do is sew a baseball together. You don't have a lot of rights. You're not in a country that has a very powerful government. Then I would say, well, maybe I have more responsibility, not just to look for the most that I can get out of you, right? But to see how I can create a bargain, I can do a deal, I can enter into a contract, whether that's a government or a corporation or a supermarket. We go to supermarkets every day. So that those deals are fair deals, so that when I buy something from you, it's for sure that you've got a fair wage. The dignity of work is central to Catholic social teaching. The ability for workers to have a say in their lives. The ability of particularly folks, for example, in West Africa, they can participate. They can get the rewards of their labors. Builds up community. They can send their kids to school. They're protected from life-threatening diseases. All these pieces go back to the Great Commandment, that we love others as we ourselves would like to be loved. Well, when you think of where most of the poor people live in the world, they live in rural areas and they eke out a living from their agricultural produce, from growing beans and rice and this type of stuff. So the capacity to buy and sell at a very primitive level is what keeps those people alive. It's where most people in the world live, and it's where most people in the world who are poor have a chance to escape that poverty. Now, of course, the Church is very interested in that, with its option for those who are vulnerable and poor and go without. It's where they live, it's where they try and struggle, so where they're trying to make sure that this system, this global trading system, works to lift them up. Oftentimes when you have an advantage, you work and you live to keep that advantage. You hold on to that advantage. You don't want to lose that advantage. In fact, the poor people then don't ever get a leg up in that. We give them foreign aid and foreign assistance, and that's all very good stuff. We've even done some debt relief so that they don't have these burdens on their backs. But the ability to project themselves into the future so that they can grow produce, sell it at a fair price has not been easy. And those who are the big players in trade, in global trade, have worked to keep their advantage. And the little folks, they don't get much of a chance at the market. Nobody is against industrialization and improving technology and methods, etc. But as we get better, as some produce gets cheaper, where do the benefits of those advances go? And we found that they don't go to the folks at the bottom of the pile. They stay oftentimes at those who are the most powerful in the market, whether that's Europe or the United States or Japan, these big countries. Because they have the money to move forward, smaller countries such as those in West Africa, where 10 million families depend upon growing cotton. Now, because of the way that we support our own cotton sector here and in other developed countries, those farmers can't sell their cotton because developed country cotton is sold more cheaply. So they're priced out of the market. Now, 2 cents here, 3 cents there is not a lot for us on what they call a bale of cotton. But for folks in West Africa, it can be the difference between medicine or no medicine. It can be the difference between sending 1 child to school or 2 children to school. And these are the type of imbalances and inequalities that the Church, with its moral framework, has something to say about. We think that these protections that the Church has been very closely supportive of, around the number of hours, against child labor, against forced labor, fair wage, the ability for people to get together and to bargain as a body so that there's fairness, recognizing that we're not all as powerful as each other. These are core principles of Catholic social teaching. And because the label in our T-shirt says Bangladesh, then I now have a very close relationship with the person who made my shirt in Bangladesh. What was their life like? it was probably a woman, head of household, on whose wage the whole family depends for food. What is my connection with her? The people who make shoes in Haiti, in our hemisphere, the poorest country in our hemisphere. What's my relationship? Do I ask a question? Am I going to consume? Am I going to buy my shoes in a way that's ethical, that cares about the hands that made these goods? That's the challenge to us as Catholics. And that's the word that's come from our Holy Father talking about a fair trade regime, from our bishops' conferences, from the gospel itself. People will still consume, huh? So we buy and we sell every day. The goods that we find on our supermarket shelves, from those to the electronic goods, to the clothes that we wear. If you look in the label of your clothes, it will probably say, made in Bangladesh, made in Cambodia. So already we're immersed in this whole reality of globalization. We don't have to go looking for it. It's there. Catholics confront global poverty. I'll give you some information on that. Get informed about these things. Find out where these products come from. See who it is who made the product in the first place. And this is such a big issue that now in Congress and your local representatives or your local city, they're making rules about how we buy and sell these things globally. Is it fair? Were they made in a place where people have fair wages? Where someone can go to the restroom? Where you don't get fired just because you're pregnant, as often happened in some of the places that make our socks and our shirts and our clothes. These things are very readily available. We can find them out pretty easily and then get clued in and connected and be part of a network of advocacy to change that situation.